Hey, guess what's happening on this week's episode of the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with your friend and host, Oscar Camejo.
Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's episode. Sometimes we get so caught up in trying to figure out what diet or exercise program to follow in order to lose weight. We've all been there. We get so caught up that we sometimes overlook the importance of sticking to the basics of nutrition. I'm a firm believer that we should not make things so complicated. Weight loss and living healthy should not be so complicated. We tend to overlook what's necessary to live healthy, feel energetic, and minimize the risk of developing health problems. Things become so complex and confusing. No wonder why so many people give up on their weight loss journey and their wellness goals. They get confused. It gets so complicated. There's this diet, there's this fad diet, all these exercise programs that promise all these things and all these results. And some people just feel lost and they get overwhelmed. I firmly believe that it's time to shift our thinking and begin focusing on the fundamentals of nutrition and wellness so that we can experience good health. That's why in this week's episode, we're going to talk about giving your body what it needs, not what it craves. We've all been there dealing with cravings and so forth. So out of this week's episode, what can you expect? You can expect to learn the difference between what our bodies need versus what our bodies may crave. Cravings are big, folks, and I know it. I've been there. You're also going to receive my recommendations on how to begin incorporating healthier foods in your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be complicated, folks. So let's keep it simple and let's keep it moving. So stay tuned to hear the rest of today's episode. You don't want to miss it. Welcome to the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with me, your host, Oscar Camejo. My goal is to help diabetics and non-diabetics make lifestyle changes to reverse type 2 diabetes. Folks, when I was 268 pounds, I had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And the way I found out was I had a diabetes event, as they called it. And I was in the hospital, and that's when I learned that I had developed type 2 diabetes. I almost checked out of this life, folks. I almost died. It was scary. And being in that hospital for about a week or so, really looking at my life and just seeing how I had gained so much weight and what went wrong, I decided that week that I was going to leave that hospital and make some changes. Folks, I have friends who've passed away because of type 2 diabetes. Others have had amputations due to diabetes complications and just other stuff going on. And my goal really is to help save lives, folks, and to save limbs. In my situation, yes, I was able to turn things around before it became too late. And that's my goal, folks, really at the end of the day, is to help people make changes in their lives so that they can live focused, live fit, and feel alive every day. I just turned 50 recently. And at age 50, I feel so energetic. I feel happy. And it just feels good. I'm in the best shape of my life. And it's been a journey. It wasn't easy getting here. And I'm not going to say it's been a cakewalk ever since losing over 80 pounds. But I can honestly tell you that the lifestyle I live now of health and wellness is so overwhelmingly great. I feel great, folks. I'm telling you. And, recently I was looking at a picture of what I looked like actually back in 2019. Looking back, I just could not believe how much weight I had gained. And I know exactly how I gained it. I know exactly what happened. I was going through a stressful time. I was eating a lot and, just really not paying attention to what I was eating and putting in my body. I was very sedentary. I was sitting a lot. I wasn't really moving that often. I would go for walks every now and then. Going to the gym, I couldn't tell you the last time I had gone to the gym during that period. But it was a tough time in my life. And just going through that tough time, I ended up one day going to the hospital and finding out I had type 2 diabetes. So I tell the whole story in episode 2. If you go way, way back, look at the episode called The Walrus and the Ring. I tell the story in depth there of what was going on. So if you hadn't listened to it, go back and check it out. So, folks, for this episode, I want to stress to you that it's important to learn as much as you can about nutrition and exercise in order to make better decisions when it comes to your health and overall well being. Knowledge is key, but you may have also heard that, oh, I got to do a lot of exercising. I got to do this. I got to do that and burn all these calories. So I need to hit the gym and be in there for 2-3 hours and just burn all this fat off. I used to think that way, folks. And that comes from a lack of understanding of health and nutrition and overall well being. Perhaps you've heard the phrase, you can't out train a bad diet. Let me say that again. You can't out train a bad diet. How true it is. Recently I sat with a friend of mine who admitted to me that he's been struggling to lose weight. He works out often, but isn't losing weight like he expected. I mean, he's really struggling. The more we talk, the more I discovered that the exercise or the lack thereof wasn't really his problem. It was what he was eating. It was the food that he was consuming on a regular basis. My friend just really poured his heart out and was like, man, I need help. I need to get things together. He was thinking that it was because he wasn't exercising enough, even though he was exercising quite often, but he wasn't losing weight. This isn't a unique situation. It's not a unique problem, folks, to my friend. Lots of people find themselves in the same situation. That was me. But you know what? Even personal trainers know that both physical activity and healthy eating habits contribute to long-term health outcomes. But unfortunately, a lot of physical trainers, a lot of fitness trainers, they don't know a lot about health and nutrition from when it comes to food and creating meal plans and so forth. They can train you on how to build muscle and how to be physically fit. But a lot of them don't spend a lot of time talking to their clients about their eating habits and their eating regimen. That's because a lot of them, they're focused more on the outward appearance. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think there's a place for personal trainers, the physical trainers, but there's also a place for nutritionists and nutrition coaches and consultants and so forth. My area of focus is the total person, but with an emphasis on nutrition. I just love the food side of health and wellness. So to help you fully reach your goals, I recommend that you focus on fitness, your whole lifestyle, and nutrition, with nutrition being the top priority. Now, am I saying that you should only just focus on nutrition and that's it? No, I want you to focus on your total life, your whole being. And that does include fitness. That includes your overall lifestyle, your mental health, things that are a part of your life, family life, social life, and so forth. But I also want you to really emphasize nutrition and prioritize nutrition. There was a time when, for me, when I started my better health journey, I was focused heavily on exercise. I wanted to be like Wolverine and Hugh Jackman, but I was just lifting weight, thinking that, okay, yeah, I want to get this physique. And then that was not sustainable. And eventually I fell off. And years later is when I had gained so much weight and just really ended up having some health issues, high blood pressure, hypertension, high cholesterol, and so forth. So it wasn't the exercise. There was a time I was doing the exercise, but then I fell off because things were just going on. And as I experienced a lack of significant weight loss, I had to shift my thinking and begin understanding the role that food was playing in my health and in my weight and my weight gain or my weight plateau at one point in my life. So my journey, when I really started taking my health very, very seriously, this was probably by this time it was June of 2021 is when I really, really started this health journey. My true commitment to health. It was June of 2021. That's when I started really focusing on not just the physical training, but also the nutrition. And it took some time as I read more, as I listened to more podcasts, as I read a lot more articles, and just really began reading books on health and nutrition. I realized that I was missing it. I was too focused on just the exercise. And exercise does play a big part of it. I want people to move more, but nutrition plays a big role. So I'm pretty sure you get the point. Now, at this point of my life and at this juncture, if you will, of my health journey, I'm in maintenance mode. I choose to eat healthier to maintain good health, prevent and minimize my risk of developing diseases. I had to get to that point of changing my thinking because, yeah, when I had type 2 diabetes, it was scary, man. I had to do what I needed to do. And thank God I was able to lose the weight and I maintain a healthy weight now. And I have reversed type 2 diabetes. And I'm very mindful. I'm very conscious of what I put in my body. So I'm saying all that to say, yes, I eat healthier now to maintain good health, prevent and minimize my risk of developing diseases and other illnesses and so forth. But I also choose to eat better so I can move better, so I can move more and I can move faster. You see, I'm not planning on slowing down as I age. I want to move more, I want to move better, and I want to move faster. That's a goal that I know I'm able to reach and a lifestyle I'm able to maintain because of the things that I eat. So, folks, listen, what we eat can dramatically affect how we move. You ever wanted to move and go exercise or go walk, but you just didn't feel like you had enough energy. Your mood was just kind of all over the place and you just didn't feel like it. So what do? A lot of us, we would sit down and just watch TV, eat popcorn, and just kind of not move and just get stuck in that routine of just not moving enough and not eating proper foods. So I want you to keep this in mind. Healthy foods help you gain more energy in combination with better sleep. I have an entire episode where I talk about getting better sleep, but in combination with getting better sleep and moving more, exercising more, you'll find that you'll have more energy and more endurance the more you focus on the things that you put in your body, the things that you do to your body, including getting better sleep and being more active. Trust me, it took a while for that to click for me, but I'm glad it eventually did. Some people may say, but Oscar, I'm just way too busy to eat healthy, like cooking at home or going to the gym. I have to take care of the kids. I have to, take care of things at home. I have to work and my schedule is just so busy. Don't allow your schedule to dictate how much you prioritize your health. I'd rather you prioritize your health and allow your schedule to be built around that priority. So again, prioritize your health, folks. Yes, you may live a busy life, but take an inventory. Why are you so busy? What are all these things that you're involved in? What are some things that you need to shave back and cut back on so that you can prioritize your health, specifically eating better? A lot of these fast food places, we keep them in business because we're so busy. Yeah, it's convenient. It's easy to drive through a drive-through and pick up something on the way to work in the morning. Grab something during lunch and then go back to work. Or on the way home, yeah, I don't feel like cooking. I don't have the energy to cook. So let me just go ahead and just stop and get something to eat. Trust me, folks, I know it. I used to eat fast food literally 3 times a day. And it was ridiculous, or like I like to say, ridiculous. I was spending not only a lot of time at these fast food places as far as my frequency of going, but I was spending a lot of money. And some people may say, well, yeah, man, eating healthy costs too much, is more expensive. Honestly, folks, looking back, I realized that I was spending way more money eating out on a regular basis and putting the not so good stuff in my body than I am now. I'm spending way less eating healthier than I did before. So I just want to encourage you all to, again, don't allow your current schedule and how busy you are to dictate how much you prioritize your health. No, flip that pyramid around and prioritize your health, folks. And your body's going to love you for it. Trust me. You see, I want to help people get healthier and get to a healthier weight and live a healthier life, folks. But it starts with becoming a more conscious eater. Now, what do I mean becoming a conscious eater? That's basically being more mindful of what you eat on an everyday basis. Every meal, what is it that you're eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? What are your current eating habits? Maybe you've never really paid attention, but I want you to slow down your busy schedule and pay attention to what you're eating. What do you drink with your meals and how often? What does your post dinner or after dinner eating habits look like? Do you normally reach for sweets and snacks, maybe some chips and popcorn? Are you like how I used to be? I always had to have something sweet, before going to bed. That's even after I ate a big dinner, right? I would just eat sweets or some chips, or just reach for some snacks and have some fruit juice or what have you. What's your after dinner habit? Think about that. I want you to literally pause and think about it. Maybe get a little journal, write it down. Matter of fact, what did you eat yesterday? What was your eating like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? What do you eat on a regular basis? So I want you to be mindful currently of what you're eating. Not, oh, I'm going to start eating better. No, I want you really to look back and audit how you have been eating up until this point. For me, every morning I would stop to get an egg and cheese biscuit or bagel or even a croissant from somewhere, and with some hash browns. Sometimes I may throw some bacon on there. I would also drink some lemonade or sweet tea with that. So that was my normal routine. Whether I was hungry or not, I was just in automatic mode. What about you? Are you stopping at the same place every day out of habit? Maybe you're getting a donut, you're getting a bagel with cream cheese, thinking, well, that's a healthy thing that I'm doing. Are you consuming a lot of bread in the morning? Some sweets, what's really going on with your daily habits. Now, what about water? How much water are you drinking every day, if any? I know for me, there would be days and days that would go by where I would not drink water. Now I drink water with every meal. And even when I'm eating snacks, water is my primary hydration, folks. So for you, the more you pay attention to your eating habits now, the better position you'll be to make changes, because you'll notice, oh man, yeah, I am eating a lot of chips. Oh, when I go to the grocery store, I automatically at the checkout line, I'm grabbing some chips and a soda, or I'm grabbing some candy, and the more you realize your habits and your automatic modes, then you'll be able to be in a better position to say, hey, yeah, you know what? I need to stop doing this. I need to stop doing this. And I need to start incorporating more things. Because, when our bodies are in automatic crave mode, sometimes we subconsciously just grab snacks. We subconsciously just eat a certain way, whether it's for lunch, whether it's for dinner. For example, What is your body craving on a regular basis? What are you eating on a regular basis? Breads, cakes and cookies, pastries, hamburgers, french fries, fried food, bacon, soda, sweet tea, lemonades, coffee with a bunch of sugar in it. What is your craving? What are your cravings? When you go to, let's say Costco, if you go to Costco or Sam's Club or BJ's, a lot of these places have the little fast food pickup windows where you can get a slice of pizza or a hot dog, or let's say those pretzels, those salted pretzels, and a whole bunch of other stuff, these little smoothie things. Is your habit to automatically, after you check out, make a beeline to go grab something to eat and then you sit down and you eat the big slice of pizza? Hey, that was me. It tasted good, but it wasn't good for me. You see, a lot of these foods have added sugar, not just the stuff what I'm talking about at the checkout or the fast food window at BJ's and these other food places. I'm talking about the things that your body normally craves. A lot of those foods have added sugar, they have high saturated fat, they're high in sodium, they're high in a lot of ingredients, artificial ingredients that are contributing to poor health. And it's common, folks. It's in everything. And unfortunately, the eating, let's say, the hamburger with fries and a Coke or Pepsi or whatever your drink of choice is, or eating a lot of fried foods, whether it's fried chicken and biscuits and French fries and all this other stuff. Unfortunately, that's a part of the standard American diet. And those initials, standard American diet, is SAD, which is sad. And a lot of us, we are surrounded by a lot of poor choices. And unfortunately, some people make it a habit of eating based on the standard American diet because that's just, they eat for comfort. That's just how things are. And they just truly, truly enjoy it. Now you may be asking, well, I heard that you need to cut calories, and yeah, I heard that you have to cut added sugar and so forth. But where does the added calories and added sugar come from? Now, I have a reference guide that I often refer to. It's a complete food and nutrition guide. And I'm going to read a couple of examples from this for you so that you can get some perspective. If you eat regular ground beef patty, right? Let's say it has 75% leanness. And that's, let's say, cooked and it's roughly 3 ounces. So basically, a hamburger, right? We're not talking about the bread just yet. We're just talking about the extra lean ground patty. If we eat beef or beef patty or hamburger patty that is not as lean, but it has a lot of fat to it. A lot of time the beef patty has the added fat, and a lot of us are not paying attention to the amount of fat that's listed on the package. So go for more lean beef, if you will, when you're buying the hamburger meat from the store. When you go to a restaurant or you go to fast food, you have no clue how much added fat or how much fat is contained in that beef. So becoming a more conscious eater will involve you knowing and eating more lean beef. Now, notice I'm not telling you not to eat hamburgers. I'm telling you to go for more lean options. Next, breaded fried chicken strips, like the chicken fingers and even some of the chicken sandwiches. If you eat, let's say, a baked chicken breast sandwich or just baked chicken, not fried, you'll be eating less calories and having less fat in that food as opposed to eating something that's breaded, or something that's been doused in the frying pan, right? Or doused in the fryer at a restaurant. So there's a difference between the baked chicken breast versus fried So when you want to deal with having reducing your cholesterol, consider that eating baked food, baked chicken versus fried chicken. Okay. What about frosted flakes? Some stuff that, we give our kids sometimes, or maybe we like ourselves. If you focus on eating cornflakes versus the frosted flakes or some of these other cereals that have the added sugar, you'll realize that eating the cornflakes or the cereals that don't have the added sugar, you'll be consuming less calories and less added sugar. So basically, opt for cereal that doesn't have the added sugars. What about curly fries? Or let's say French fries. Do you know that just simply eating a baked potato, you'll get roughly 117 calories from that? But when you have French fries, let's say curly fries, and they're dipped in the frying basket, and you're eating an additional 141 calories of fat from that food, from it just being fried. So, folks, what I had done is cut out fried foods, whether that's fried chicken, French fries, and just really, it didn't happen overnight. So, I went to like eating maybe French fries once a week as opposed to eating it like every other day. So, just kind of think about that. So, hopefully, you get my point of what I'm saying. There's healthier options. Sometimes folks may say, well, is it okay to eat a donut? I'm not going to say it's not okay to eat a donut. It's just, what are you doing in excess? Think about the added sugar. Think about the processed foods that you're eating. Somebody may say, well, Oscar, do I not eat hot dogs? Do I not eat sausages? Well, I mean, you have to think about the standard American diet. A lot of these foods are high in saturated fat. They're highly processed. A lot of times it really doesn't contain all of the actual food or protein that you think it does. It could just be only a small percentage of the actual food itself or meat itself, but it's a conglomeration of a whole bunch of ingredients for the taste. In some hot dogs and some sausages, they actually add sugar to it. Like, why would you add sugar to some of these things? Well, it's for taste. So just keep that in mind, folks. I can go on and on. There's a whole list of things that I can go over, but let's move on. Now, when it comes to what your body needs and what our bodies need nutrients. We need nutrients to help us function on a day-to-day basis. So, on a regular basis, there are 6 nutrients that our bodies use and actually need. Number 1, carbohydrates. Number 2, protein, quality protein. Number 3, lipids or healthy fats. Number 4, water. Number 5, vitamins. That's to help prevent deficiencies. And number 6, minerals. So again, carbohydrates, our body actually use carbs for energy and for fuel. That's number 1. Number 2, protein, quality protein. Number 3, lipids or healthy fats. Number 4, water, of course, for hydration, to help us to function better, to think better. Our organs need water. Number 5, vitamins. Number 6, minerals. And the thing about vitamins and minerals is these are important because if you have a vitamin deficiency or a mineral deficiency, you can experience some health challenges. And a lot of people may not realize that they're either vitamin D deficient, vitamin E deficient, vitamin A deficient, and so forth. So, food, folks, is very important. And when we starve ourselves or limit ourselves by not getting the proper types of carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, or fat, or even depriving our bodies of water, depriving our bodies of vitamins and minerals on a regular basis, yeah, all of that's going to compound and eventually lead to health problems and issues. Now, folks may say, okay, Oscar, I hear what you're saying. Now, what diet should I go on to incorporate more nutrients and so forth in my diet, in my life? Well, folks, I'm going to tell you, I don't diet. I never have dieted. I've never gone on a diet program. I just chose not to. What I did do was change my eating pattern and started eating and incorporating the things that I knew that were good for my body, things that I liked, but that were of healthier options. As I mentioned before, I stopped eating fried chicken. I didn't stop eating chicken, I just stopped eating fried chicken. So I do more baked chicken, grilled chicken, and so forth. I didn't stop eating fish. I just stopped eating fried fish, and I do more baked or grilled fish like salmon and so forth, red snapper. I didn't stop eating beef. I just stopped eating beef the way how I used to eat beef. I mean, on my birthday, I had a huge ribeye and it was great. It was delicious. Again, I just started eating better. I changed my eating pattern. So, what is a healthy eating pattern overall? And I'm referring to the complete food and nutrition guide. I mean, you can find this online yourself. But what I encourage you to do is eat more fruits, especially whole fruits, not, oh, the little cans of fruit that's doused in a lot of sugar water. I'm talking about eating actual fruit, whole fruits. Eat a variety of vegetables, dark green, red, and orange type colored vegetables, legumes, beans and peas. Eat some starchy vegetables and other vegetables. I used to not like spinach. I love spinach now. I'm talking about eating more broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and so forth. Now, when it comes to dairy, a good healthy eating pattern or lifestyle is, yeah, you don't have to cut out dairy. It's just choosing fat free or low fat dairy products, including, milk, yogurt, cheese, and other foods that are fortified with healthier nutrients, if you will. Yeah, there's times where, let's say for a salad, I'll put feta cheese on my salad. So there's nothing wrong with having dairy. Now, some people, they may be lactose intolerant. So, do what's right for you, do what your body can tolerate, but don't feel like you have to completely eliminate dairy. Just choose a healthier option. The next thing is grains. Make sure you're consuming whole grains. Whole grains are really good. They're a good source of vitamins and proteins and other nutrients that our bodies need, including fiber and so forth. Now, speaking of protein, it's good to have a variety of protein foods, including seafood, lean meats, as I mentioned before, poultry, whether it's chicken or turkey, eggs. Eggs aren't bad, folks. A lot of people think, well, no, I can't eat eggs because they're high in cholesterol. I mean, we can have a whole discussion on that. But for some people, eggs may not be a problem, but, they are a good source of protein. We mentioned beans and legumes before, peas and so forth. They too are a good source of protein, especially black beans. Think about that. Nuts and seeds, those are a good source of protein. I mean, I eat mixed nuts often, the unsalted, just because I'm choosing not to consume a lot of salt like I did back in the day. Another aspect of a healthy eating plan includes eating healthy oils, such as, the olive oil, avocado oils, sunflower oils, and so forth. And I know there's some controversy behind some certain oils, like the vegetable oils and so forth. You want to stay away from cooking with those. But I know for me, when it comes to lipids or the healthy fats, I focus on two: olive oil and avocado oil. Some people like the coconut oils and so forth. But for my salads or when I'm sauteing vegetables, I do the avocado oil or the olive oil just because of the nutrient density of those oils. Now, here's some things that you definitely want to limit or definitely reduce or eliminate from your diet as much as possible. Foods that are high in saturated and trans fat. You definitely want to limit those because when it comes to heart health, you want to keep your heart healthy. Minimize your cholesterol, the LDL, which is the not so good cholesterol, as they say. Even though the LDL, your body needs part of it, your body does need LDL to function like your cells and so forth, but it's when it becomes too much in the body and so forth. So we can talk about that, or you can look that up yourself. Also, as I mentioned before, limit added sugars and the artificial sugars that are included in a lot of the pastries and even some of the breads and the processed foods and so forth. You also want to limit sodium. I stopped cooking with salt a long time ago. Well, it's been about 2 years now. Now, every now and then I would put a little bit of salt, like Himalayan pink salt or something like that. But that's not a regular thing for me. I actually do more garlic than I do sodium. For me, it was when I was dealing with high blood pressure, it was a thing that I almost cut immediately. So you definitely want to limit or cut sodium from your diet as much as possible. Now, sodium in and of itself is not bad, but when you're dealing with health problems such as obesity, being overweight, hypertension, and other issues, you definitely want to look at limiting your sodium intake. And alcohol, definitely you want to limit alcohol. Alcohol is not a need, folks. I'm not harping on that. I'm not an alcohol drinker, never have been, never will be. Alcohol really just impairs your judgment. It also it also leads to just other health complications. And as much as you can, definitely limit or eliminate alcohol from your eating pattern. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap this up shortly. Now, overall, when I talked about becoming more of a conscious eater, I want you to plan to eat smart and have smart goals. You may have heard the phrase SMART goals, SMART goals. I want you to keep these steps in mind. Step number one, I want you to start auditing your food and drink choices by keeping track. I want you to really become more of a conscious eater, as we shared before. So, step number two, this is where the SMART goals come in. I want you to set SMART goals for yourself. Know what you want to achieve for better health. I want you to consider your eating pattern, your eating lifestyle to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So, for example, being specific, rather than just say, well, I'm going to eat better, I want you to be specific. I will eat more vegetables. The more specific that you can be, the better it is for you. Because just to say, well, I'm going to exercise more, that's too broad. You want to be more specific. Well, I'm going to exercise 3 times a week and I'm going to eat more vegetables with every meal. Now, here it is. The next thing, measurable. Your goal of healthy eating and nutrition needs to be measurable. For example, I will eat at least 5 servings of vegetables and whole fruits every day. You can measure that. 5 servings. Okay. That's for each whole fruit. That's considered a serving. A banana, let's say some kiwi, and just other fruit that you may like, an orange. One whole orange has considered a serving. So keep that in mind. You also want your goal to be achievable. For example, I will pace myself and begin cooking at home 3 nights a week and eating out less. So, right now, you may be only cooking at home once a week, or maybe every other week, and you're eating out every night. So, as you pace yourself, it may not be realistic and achievable for you to say, okay, I'm just going to just automatically start cooking every night of the week, 7 days a week. That may not be practical because of your schedule and your lifestyle. But as you begin making adjustments, think about making those goals achievable, something that you know that you can do and accomplish. If you're cooking, if you're not cooking out at all during the week and you're eating out more, just say, okay, or let's say on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we're going to cook at home. Or let's say Monday through Thursday, or just kind of pick out something that's achievable that you know that you can have those small wins and be consistent with it. Next thing, make sure your SMART goals are relevant. For example, I want to lose weight by replacing chips and cookies with fruits and vegetables. Now, it has to be relevant to what you're working on. If you're trying to lose weight by eating healthier foods, now it has to be relevant. For example, you're not going to say, well, I'm just going to lose weight by just thinking better. Whether thinking better or thinking about losing weight, that's one thing, but it has to be relevant. Like, what are the action steps that you're going to take behind that? And we're going to talk about practical steps in a second. So hopefully you understand what I mean by being relevant. It has to make sense. It has to be applicable to what your goals are. So if you want to lose weight by eating less snack foods or junk foods, I plan to lose weight by replacing chips and cookies with fruits and vegetables. See, that's a relevant goal. Make sure your goals also are time bound. For example, within 3 months, I plan on dropping 10 pounds by eating healthier, which includes eating more vegetables, eating more fruit, eating out less, not eating fried foods, not eating foods with added sugar, not eating foods with high sodium content, and so forth. So you want your goal to be time bound and be specific. Now, it may be 3 months, it may be 6 months, but you definitely want to challenge yourself by having a time bound goal. So, step number 3, make a plan for change. That plan has to include small goals with practical steps. The more practical you can make your steps, the more doable there will be, the more wins you'll have. So, for example, if you start off by saying, yes, I plan on eating fresh vegetables every day by making a salad for lunch that has blank, blank, blank. And for dinner, I will cook with red peppers, zucchini, squash, broccoli, etc. You get what I'm saying. You want to have practical steps. It can't just be a lofty plan, because lofty plans that have no specific steps, no specific practical steps, are going to be more of a challenge to accomplish. So just be more practical. Don't have lofty ideas, without having specific practical steps that you're actually going to take. And maybe have to keep a journal and say, when I go to the grocery store, I'm going to buy more green vegetables, red vegetables, yellow vegetables. I'm going to buy more green fruit, more yellow fruit, more red fruit. I'm going to have a variety of things, and I'm going to start cooking with this. I'm going to make salads for lunch each day that contains X, Y, Z. So again, be very, very practical. Step number 4, be patient and be consistent. You see, sometimes we give up and cave in too quickly and too soon because we get frustrated. We get frustrated because we're not seeing results. And a lot of times we don't see results because we have these goals that are not smart, that aren't practical, and folks just tend to get sidetracked and easily dismayed by what they don't see. Step number 5, I want you to begin monitoring your progress. So monitor your progress, monitor your success as you go, and then you're going to start seeing results. It's something about looking back, whether it's your exercise or whether it's your eating. Monitoring your progress is not just standing on the scale, folks, is way more than that. And lastly, step number 6, seek professional help from a qualified dietitian, nutritionist, as needed, because sometimes you may need that extra boost of support to help you to reach your goals. So, folks, that's it for this episode. Giving your body what it needs and not what it craves. Hopefully, you got a lot out of this. Thank you so much for supporting this podcast. I want you to leave a rating. I want you to let me know, give me some feedback, how you enjoy the show. You can always email me at hello@beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com, and definitely consider following me on Facebook. All right, so that's it, folks. The goal is to help you to live healthier, help you to live focused, to help you to feel alive every day, folks. And you can do it. You can reach your goals. You can reach your fitness goals. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some work, but you can do it. If I can turn my life around, you can too. I believe in you all. I believe that you can do it. It's about breaking habits. It's about recognizing what our habits are. It's about making changes, making those life-changing decisions that will help us to live a balanced life when it comes to health and nutrition and our total overall well-being. It's about making those decisions that count, making those decisions that last. So, as always, stay focused, keep moving, never go back, leap forward, bounce back because you can, my friend. And above all else, trust God. You got this. I believe in you. Be sure to visit the website at www.beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com for access to free resources and other information that will help you along your journey. If you would like to submit a question or a comment about the show or to learn more about the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle, you can always email me at hello@beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this podcast.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with Oscar Camejo. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As a reminder, this podcast is intended for motivational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional care by a physician or other healthcare professional or qualified fitness instructor. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or professional advice or services. If you're looking for help on your journey, seek a qualified medical practitioner. It's important that you utilize someone who is a trained, licensed healthcare professional who can help you on your journey toward good health.